Oh, my name's Fox Mental. Big name Fox, and I am. Man, my hair looks crazy right now. But I am back doing another. Well, technically, you're all gonna see this, and it's going to be the first review. Technically, that's been uploaded. But I will have my first impression up video of Legends of Tomorrow come out in a few days. So I'm sorry for it being kind of out of order, but take it this way. It's like time travel. You're going to see my past self before my future self, which is now. Mind you, past self. My past self, I accidentally left a part out or forgot a part where in the last episode, Snark and the other guys break into a weapons deal going on, and they have suits on, which, mind you, their suits were to fit fine. But somehow they still pulled out their giant bulky guns out of their suits. So I'm like, okay, these guys are Rick Hunter or Rory is a Time Lord now because he can make their pockets bigger on the inside. But anyways, this episode was. You know what? I'm going to pull a Markiplier. This episode's name was Blood Ties. Hopefully that worked. But this episode, half the team. Well, what happens is Hawk Girl from the last episode has shrapnel from the blade that was stabbed into her inside her system. And she's reacting violently. So the Atom and the Professor have to. The Professor half of Firestorm have to find a way to. Well, they have to get the Atom to go inside and destroy the fragments, while the younger side of Firestorm and Snark and the fire gun dude, they take one of the ships and leave, so that Snark can go steal an emerald, and then Hunter, aka Rory, and White Canary head to, what was it? They head to a bank where they decide to try to take down Randall Savage by destroying his money, destroying his funds. Which also, mind you, when they said, because I had to write it down because I extremely liked this, when they start talking about the little fragment particles inside of my hair, inside Hawk Girl, they said, well, can't we just go to the future and figure out how to cure something? And Rory says, no, the ship is from that future and it's not going to happen. And they all start complaining. Not complaining, but they start saying things. I forgot exactly what brought this up, but he's like, look, I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall. And I'm like, gosh, dang it, stop it! And mind you, I love the reference of Batman and Superman. I love it, and we know that they are in this universe. Great. Awesome. The bad thing is, that's like, okay, stop it, because we know this is not in canon yet, unless they're going to do the Kingdom Come thing. This is not going to be in canon yet for everything for Man of Steel and for the Man of Steel and versus Batman v Superman to be canon with the shows yet, unless we're gonna get a Kingdom Come episode or a Kingdom Come event that's gonna happen that's gonna merge all multiverse. I really should look up if the Kingdom Come is the right one, but where it's gonna merge all the multiverses together, and so then we have the TV shows also linked with the movies, which, mind you, awesome if that was a case, and then we'd even have a giant event that happens, like, as soon as the movie comes out, we can have a giant event that crosses through Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Flash, and then also a movie that could have, like, the Man of Steel and everything, which would probably be like the Justice League movie. That would be kind of freaking awesome. But yeah, but that was a cool little thing they said. And then later on, White Canary and Hunter, or aka Rory, are talking, and they were saying, okay, we have to stop Randall Savage, so we gotta go to the bank. I love how Snark just walks in and goes, did somebody say bank? Not you, idiot, go back. But, oh, gosh, I love Snark. He is so freaking awesome. And they're not, and even though they're kind of like, even though he's kind of an anti-hero in the show, he's still a villain, which I kind of like. I guess that's kind of the definition of an anti-hero, but yeah, it's just extremely fun. Snarky is one of my favorite characters right now. But so back to the main story now, though. I'll cover Hunter and White Canary in a bit, but first off, Ray Palmer goes into Hawkgirl's bloodstream, destroys a few fragments, but then accidentally messes up. And he's like, then he shoots back and he says, I can't do this, and the professor asks him, what's wrong, what's going on, and he's saying, I can't do that. It's like, but then he starts saying like, did you lose someone or something like that? I think he said that because Ray Palmer's scared because of his wife dying, that he won't be able to save Hawkgirl. I can boil that point down a little bit, and the professor says that he remembers this guy, and he said that he remembers Palmer, and it says, look, the reason why I don't remember you is because you were an exceptional student and it made me feel inferior, and blah blah blah. And Ray Palmer's like, oh, okay. And he's like, but then why are you faking like you didn't know me? He's like, I like to take you down a peg. So basically hyping up, and the professor saying, you can do this, and Palmer's like, oh, all right. And so he fixes the suit, goes back inside and destroys the fragments, and like, yeah. And then turns out that the professor was lying, that he didn't know, because the moment that Ray Palmer, that the professor talking about, was 2 years after he was being taught by, 2 years after the professor taught Ray Palmer, which also, for such something like that to happen, where the professor says, I had many exceptional students, I don't remember much of them. I'm kind of thinking this might be a little bit of a hint that time might already be a little messed up. That may be the reason why the professor doesn't remember Ray, is because something probably messed up in the timeline. Also, I kind of just remembered, he just said he's seen Men of Steel die, and I'm just thinking, the guy who plays Ray Palmer, what played Superman in Superman Returns. So I'm thinking, oh wait, right now, that's just pretty funny. But and then with Snark, and the younger half of Firestorm and the Fire Guy, younger Firestorm learns how to pilot one of the shuttle ships, and Snark says for him to fly them to Central City to go steal this emerald. Why, they don't know yet. Also, they're all still stuck in 1975. Next episode, they're going to be heading to 1986, so 11 years later. So they head to this museum. They tell the younger half Firestorm that, oh, don't you want to see how fast a baby can go? All right. So they go. They go to Central City. Snark steals this green emerald, and then later on, then he says, "All right, take me to this place." And younger Firestorm goes, "Why do you want to go there?" And the fire guy says, "It's because that's where he grew up." He's like, "What?" He said, "Not." Hunter said not to mess with the timeline. He's like, "I know what I'm doing. Just go." So he takes him to the house, where there he sneaks inside, and he runs into his younger self, which I love, because he runs into his younger self and he tells his younger self, don't let anyone hurt you, no matter what, whether it be here or here. And I like that. It's a nice little thing, because even although, yeah, it's technically he's helping himself still, it's still a nice little thing, I kind of think, especially since he's telling himself, don't let yourself be hurt, grow up strong. And his dad, younger, comes up behind him with a gun. He goes, get out of my house. And he tells his younger self, go upstairs and go to sleep. Younger self goes upstairs, and Stark then explains, in 2 days you're gonna try to break into the Central City Bank to steal the emerald. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. Here, he puts the emerald down. He's like, take that. That way you don't have to go to jail and everything. But he said, what he said. I think he said he would either kill him right now. He said, I would kill you right now, but well, first he says, the thing is, you don't ever lay a hand on your son. You never lay a hand on your son or your wife, and if you do, I'll come back here. And the only reason why I'm not killing you right now is because my sister wouldn't be born. And he walks out, and the guy and his father's like, his sister? So Snark and them leave. They fly away, and then they get a distress call because apparently something bad has happened. We then cut to Hunter and White Canary. We're jumping back a little bit. They first go to this bank where apparently all the tellers are assassins, where they were trying to hack into the computers. They go, but the assassins come. White Canary and Hunter kick the crap out of all of them, and also White Canary almost kills a guy, which was pretty awesome. And also you see White Canary is kind of a detective too, because she sees a cross on the back of the neck, and that means that these guys are African mercenaries. The girl has a Beretta with a silencer behind her desk, and then the guy the guy that quote unquote owns the bank, or is like the manager of the bank, he's been trained in swordsmanship. So they basically kill everyone else, and also White Canary starts throwing knives and stuff, and Hunter's like, I thought he said no weapons, and she just goes, yeah, but well, you can thank me later. So they start fighting. They get the manager, and they try to get the manager to tell them where they can find Randall Savage's money, and he says, I don't know. Like he says, I know exactly where, but or I think he says it's down in a state where my master is having a ceremony. And he's like, what do you mean? And he goes saying that the vessel is Hawkman's blood or Hawkman's body, and that they're going to use it for something. And they're like, what the heck are you talking about? And they tell him that where to go, and they say, so you're telling us this because you want us to go there to get killed? And he's like, yeah. So you're like, okay, well, at least he's honest. So those two leave along with the other guy. They use him as the manager. They use him as a way to get into the party, but then knock him out, throw him into the trunk. They walk into the party, look around, and they find somewhere where they can kill Rand. They find out where the body is after kicking the crap out of some African mercenaries, as they're called. Kicks the crap out of them, and then after that kicks the crap out of them, finds the body, and they decide, like, Hunter's taking this personally, saying, I'm not letting Randall Savage win, I'm not letting him defile our friend's body, and we're gonna give him a proper burial. Well, they get caught, because apparently someone checked the trunk of the car, so they get caught, they get taken to the ceremony where Randall Savage shows that apparently the bodies of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, that they can cut their throats and drain the blood, and that blood actually has like everlasting, that can add a few hundred years to someone's lifespan, which he gives to his followers, which are a whole bunch of them. He says, my power doesn't come from money, it comes from my followers. So let me close this. This is basically what I'm going to start writing my writing little things I need to when I'm doing reviews, that way I can keep track and remember. But he says that they will live forever and stuff like that. And apparently also, Hunter is the devil of their religion, because Hunter actually traveled back in time all the way when Randall Savage was quote-unquote mortal and tried to kill him and hesitated. I'm thinking, well, fudge, that's one of the only times you could probably kill him. And also I was kind of thinking, why doesn't he travel back to when Randall Savage was a baby and, stab him in his crib? Yes, you're killing a baby, but tell me right now, how many of you people, if you could, would go back in time when Hitler was a baby and stab and kill him? Or when he was an art student. But I probably wouldn't, because that would change timeline completely. But yeah, that would change the timeline completely, and but still, it's pretty So like, and apparently since he failed, and now he's labeled as like the devil of the Randall Savage religion, and so, but before, and then Randall Savage says, "You have no idea what it is to have followers that will go to the gates of hell for you." And then that's when Snark and everyone else busts in and start kicking the crap out of the followers and stuff. And they're saying, and Hunter goes, "No, but I have a pretty good idea." And heck, if anything, Randall Savage has beings from hell and heaven with heroes and villains on his team. Actually, how many heroes are actually on the team? White Canary, Snark, and the Fire Guy are bad guys. Then you have both halves of Firestorm, Atom. Also, the Firestorm suit's kind of growing on me a little bit. I actually kind of like how it looks. Though I don't know exactly. I guess the suit just appears whenever they fuse now, or whenever they put the symbol on. But, what was I saying? White Canary, Snark, Fire Guy. Both halves of Firestorm. Atom, and now Hawk Girl. And then so it's not really even, but there's a little more good than bad on that team, but it don't matter. What was I thinking? Alright, so they fight, and Randall, and actually before the team breaks in, Randall Savage actually says, "Who did I take from you?" And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the pocket watch of Hunter's pocket watch that has his wife and kid in there. He's like, "Oh, good. I don't remember them, but I will." Closes it, puts it back in his pocket, I believe, or I think he puts it in his own pocket. I forgot. But yeah, team busts in. They fight. Hunter finally gets to Randall Savage, takes a knife, and just slits Randall Savage's throat. He says, "This is for his wife and kid." And then Randall Savage, while he's dying, he says, "I will, you good. Now I know their names, and I will heal and kill them." And he falls down dead, and he's of course revived. But through that time, I'm kind of thinking, okay, usually when there's an immortal, if you can't really kill him, you can kind of immobilize him. Unless he's Deadpool, which even Deadpool's healing, I'm kind of wondering how that one mostly works. Because apparently it's his brain that lets him heal, but there's comic books, I believe, in continuity, to where they've blown up his entire head, and he's regenerated. But one way you could stop Randall Savage right now, unless he can grow another head, take an axe, chop off his head, he'll technically still be alive, or he might regenerate from his head to create a new body, who the fudge knows. Chop off his head, take that with you, put that in stasis, and shoot it into the freaking sun. Done! No more Randall Savage. Or take the entire body if you can. Because he said they could regenerate from a single cell. Take his entire body and then shoot that into the sun. Then you won't have to worry about him either, because he is gone into the sun, where each and every cell of his should... Actually, no, that's not true, because he could probably revive from dead skin cells, maybe? No, they're dead skin cells. But if he has blood on the floor, then yeah, I guess technically he could be revived from that. Gosh dang. Well, actually, no. Okay. Try to get as many people as you can get out. Tell Firestorm to do an atomic blast and nuke the frickin' area. I don't know, that might be able to destroy... That might be able to destroy the... crap, I got an itch on my back. That might be able to destroy... That might be able to destroy him. Every last single cell, hopefully. Unless he keeps a vial of his blood somewhere in case, then he can do it like that. Which I guess is a good... I'm not really sure how the regeneration works, but I guess that is a good way to... suspend be able to keep you going. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I did like that little reference where I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall, and I'm just like, stop it! You're not gonna show us them, so stop it. If you do show us them, awesome. If they're gonna be in continuity with if the Batman v Superman is gonna be continuity with the show, freaking awesome. But don't screw with us. Please don't. Don't try to get us our hype with that. Like, ooh, that's like, at least in Smallville, in Smallville, they say, I forgot what her name was, Claire? Something with a C, I think. Their watchtower. At least in that one, she gives a little reference to Batman. She says, I know a wonderful woman, a boy who could breathe underwater, and a billionaire playboy who has money to spare. Which I guess it could have been, no, because Oliver was there, yeah. So they were talking about Batman. And even then, at least in that one, they have a comic book for season 11, I believe it is. Season 11. In season 11, where he meets Batman, where Batman appears and kicks the living crap out of Superman. Mind you, it's not like the same way. It's kind of similar to how it happens in The Dark Knight Returns, but still different in a sense that instead of kryptonite or something, he has a suit that generates red sunlight. And I'm like, fudge, yeah, that is smart. The suit generates red sunlight, and that slowly zaps Superman's powers, and he just starts kicking the living crap out of Superman like that. Like, that is cool. Mind you, I love Superman. I like Superman and Batman. Though I think I would still prefer probably going to the Marvel Universe, only because I think it's way easier to become a superhero in that universe. Unless you count DC Universe, in that case, the game. In that case, okay, that's actually easier, and you can actually modify your powers. But yeah. But either way, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I like it. Rory, aka Hunter, is pretty freaking awesome. I kind of like. I don't know. There seems to be kind of a chemistry. Also, White Canary says that she's a monster now, because she has the bloodlust. But also, I kind of like it's kind of a chemistry that Hunter and White Canary are kind of having, which is kind of cool. I don't know much about... Really, I don't know. I think majority of these characters are kind of B-list characters, I think. I'm not sure. If you guys love these characters, fine. But if you ask someone who's not very accustomed to comic books, and you told them Firestorm, or White Canary, or Captain Cold, and stuff like that, they'll probably be like, who? Oh, like, they won't know who these characters are. Unlike, do you know who Superman is? Oh, yeah, I know Superman. Batman, yep. Wonder Woman, yep. Green Lantern, maybe. Aquaman, probably, yeah. Actually, yeah, with the animated series, yeah, I think a lot of these characters, at least the main Justice League guys, that will be a lot more remembered. But with these other characters, like the Atom and stuff like that, you're probably not going to get, if someone else who's not accustomed with comic books so much into that, which... I kind of like if these guys are kind of B-list, because then that's kind of cool seeing these characters get their own things. Though I know Firestorm has his own comic books, I believe. I'm not sure about, like, Hunter and them. But it was pretty cool. It's a pretty epic episode. This episode is. I definitely want to see more. I definitely want to see more on it, especially since now they're actually going to go through time again. Which... if they do spend, because I thought like the episode series was going to be like, one world, this day, this episode, then another, or one time, this time, then another time, and then another time. But they kind of, instead of just going straight to the next world, they kind of, not milk, well, I guess kind of milk the area that they're in right now, which I kind of like, because it's not like, okay, one episode, okay, done, next world. Not saying that's bad. Doctor Who's pretty much an example of that. Though mind you, well, then I watched a few of the older ones up to 1, 2, 3, 4. Whichever one was the one with the Doctor with the lettuce. Because I've seen a few of the stories when they're on Netflix, and now they're gone. So fudge me, I wasn't able to finish it. I was hoping to get to at least to the 8th Doctor or the 7th Doctor, I believe. I think the 8th Doctor didn't really get any. I can't remember if the 8th Doctor, because I still don't know much. I don't all of Doctor Who's past, but I did get a few of the stories from the first Doctor. I even had like on DVD the Daleks Master Plan. I didn't even finish it, but the first Doctor up to after Gandalf to the lettuce. We're going with the lettuce on his lapel. So I definitely want to see. I definitely want to continue that, but like even then, like those series, like each episode, mind you, they're like 2 hours technically all together, but they have 4 episodes in one time, which, all right, that's not too bad. Which this kind of does something like that. You have 4 episodes in one timeline, at least so far, and next we're gonna have, you know, more timelines and more things happening, which would be freaking awesome. Or more times. And also, apparently, Snark's dad still goes to jail because he tries to sell the diamond to undercover cop, which then lands him in jail, lands his father in jail anyway. So therefore, doesn't change the timeline at all. Other than probably that he says that his father never laid a hand on his wife or kids, which I'm thinking, fudge, yeah. But either way, that was pretty cool. I definitely like Snark. He's trying to fix some of his past. He's trying to fix some of the past. I just hope his sister doesn't get erased, which I don't think she is. But still, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And it's kind of like time. It's kind of like the Doctor Who time correcting itself, where there's. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. So I'm not quite sure, because usually you always have time. You have a lot of time traveling. Stories about, oh, they time traveled and you're trying to change the future, and this is definitely going to end badly. But they're trying to actually change time, and now here's the question: will they succeed? Or if they do change the future and Randall Savage is not, you know, the biggest threat anymore in the future, what are they going to fight next? What bigger thing is going to come? Are they going to have to fight Darkseid or the New Gods? That would be kind of cool. FYI, I definitely want to thank Linkara Top of the Fourth Wall, because of watching his show, I've learned a lot about comic books. So I am very happy for that. So thank you, Linkara. But either way, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you want to check more videos that I've done, please click the link in the description below. Check out Top of the Fourth Wall, definitely, if you want to get more info on comic books. Mind you, he's not probably like a master of comic books, but you can learn a pretty good amount from there. I'd definitely say check him out. But either way, thank you everyone so much for watching. Please check out all my other videos, and we will see you later.